At the end of the day, we just want to be liked for who we are. So why not start there? I used to think that to make it on YouTube, I had to master all these crazy editing tricks. So I did learn some of them and I used them on my previous channel. But the more time I spend on YouTube, the more I realize that we don't actually need them. And I find that to be very liberating. Creating content on YouTube is not that hard. There is only one thing that you need to keep in mind, is that you need to provide value. There are 4 ways that you can provide value. You can entertain, you can educate, you can inspire, or you can motivate people. You may think that if you'd like to entertain people, then you would definitely need to rely on some kind of editing, right? But I don't think that's true. Just think about captivating storytellers, that they can hold your attention to that level when you don't even realize what is around them, what is behind them. And that's a skill, that's a fascinating skill that I personally would like to learn someday. I often think about how cool it would be to start a movement when we don't use any props, any editing, we just stand in front of a blank wall, because that would be the true test of our ability to provide value to our audience, to hold their attention. So I think that's great, because then we remove that variable. All these editing tricks, all the props, they are, and the music, right, is just something to blame. For example, if your video is not performing the way that you'd like to, it's so easy to blame all these outside elements, like, oh, maybe the music I chose was not good enough, maybe it was not the right fit for my video, or maybe the type of font or type of or the color of my animation was not the right one, maybe it was too harsh, right? But when it's just you and the camera and there is nothing added, then it's an instant feedback whether you were good enough, whether your message was heard, whether you provided enough value. And that is a scary feeling, right? To stand in front of the camera or sit and then just be brave and talk. And then if people don't watch your video till the end, then it's a signal. That's a sign that you need to change something. Maybe, there are all kinds of things you can change in that case. And it's an instant feedback. And that's one of the things that I like about this approach. It's very harsh, but it's real. There are many talented folks out there who study YouTube for a long time before they put out their first video. And I admire those folks because they take the time to know what works. It takes skill, it takes talent. And in many cases, their first video goes viral because they understand the psychology of people, how to, in a way, manipulate. And that's not the part that I admire about them. It's the part that they are perseverant and they are very strategic in their approach. And they learn what it takes. Like, for example, you need to change your B-roll every 8 to 10 seconds. And how do you turn up the music and turn down the music to achieve the effect that you want, and all these crazy tricks. And it's all about just grabbing your attention so you are glued to the screen. So these are the folks that we call architects. They have a blueprint. It's like building the house. They know exactly where every single light switch is going to go in the house, every wire, and they have a plan. And once they are ready with the plan, they have the blueprint, then they start building the house. So in YouTube's case, that's when they produce their first video. And it's very impactful. And I used to think that is what I had to do. And it overwhelmed me. I thought that was the key to success. I don't think that way anymore. Because, like I said earlier, I do think that it's kind of manipulative. And I do think that it puts a wall between me and you. And I think that in today's world, we are so hungry for connection and authenticity. And I think that if we use all these tricks, frills and fluffs, then I don't see how we can achieve it. So I think that this is the way, this is gonna be my way. No music, no intro, no outro, not even a subscribe button, no jump cuts, just me talking to you, connecting with you, providing value, I hope. And then, yeah. And another reason I think that this is a good approach is that I find all those editing tricks to be anxiety-inducing. We are living in the age of information overload. So they say that the average person today receives so much information in a day than a person in the 17th century received in a lifetime. That's a crazy thought, right? So I think that the world can feel very fast-paced, and there are all these demands out there, things that require our attention, and somehow the time sped up. Time flies these days, and I have some theory why that is, but that's not for this video. But the point is that we are bombarded with all this information and input, constant input, and I think that we could use a little bit more calmness in the world, in our days. So I'm hoping to contribute to that, to create a more peaceful viewing experience for my viewers. So we have the architects on YouTube who have a blueprint and a perfect design, and they launch their channel once they have everything figured out. And then we have the archaeologists. Most of us fall under that category. We are just digging for artifacts in one area, and if we can't find anything precious, we start digging somewhere else, and that's fine. And eventually we are going to find our voice. Eventually you are going to find what works for you as well. But this is something to consider when you think about the overall vibe of your channel. What kind of message you want to provide? Are you brave enough? Are you brave enough to face the camera and put it to the test? You know, as long as you provide value, that is the only thing that matters. So if you focus on that, I have no doubt that you are going to be successful. If you keep in mind that the single most important thing for you as a creator is to provide value to your audience, then from that perspective, content creation is not that difficult. But there are some steps that you can take to set yourself up for success. For example, when it comes to shooting your video, I created a video about it. Take a look at it if you'd like to. Thanks for watching. Take care. Bye.